So Vision 2030 is about, the overall objective, a high quality of life for all Kenyans. And we should never forget that. That's what it's all about. And we have projects and programs, initiatives in the economic, in the social, political sphere. And we must implement all those, frankly speaking. We've got to open up the country. The LabSet project, for instance, is about trying to deal with this conundrum where for 112 years, Kenya's economy has been focused on this, what we call the Northern Corridor, which is for us south of Kenya, the Mombasa, Nairobi, Malaba corridor. 90% of the GDP is there. And there have been, by the way, over the last 50 years, there have been initiatives to try and do something in different parts of the country, but all those initiatives are contrived unless you have infrastructure. Without infrastructure, you cannot have economic growth. There has to be infrastructure development. And so the labs and projects has got so many imperatives: economic, social, political, you name it. Because there will be no way to get a beef industry going in Garissa without infrastructure. Over the last many years, people have tried many things, but they fail because you cannot do things artificially. Things must be made commercially viable, and the infrastructure will support it. So Vision 2030 will do that. But to the members of Parliament here, last December we went to Parliament. We took a sessional paper on Vision 2030 to Parliament, and the MPs passed it. In that sessional paper, the foundations, where we have infrastructure and the macroeconomy, where the national values. Because now we have Article 10 of the Constitution. And regardless of the process you went through, whether you are for the process, whether you think the process was robust enough or not, Kenyans voted for the Constitution. So that's how we have to go, unless we have another referendum or another process that overturns the Constitution, it is the governing document of this country, and in it we have Article 10. So we must respect the fact that there's Article 10. And so how do we operationalize it? How do we make that come to life? At least in Vision 2030 was very clear, without having values in the foundation, which is why I agree with one of it, we cannot achieve Vision 2030, not truly, really. But it's one thing to have it. It's another thing to actually make it come to life. And that's a very challenging aspect, but we do have it. The former Ministry of Justice actually did develop a sessional paper as well on values. We must entrench them, whether it's in the school system. This year we're going to be undertaking a major effort of developing an entirely new curriculum for the education system. One of the 8 acts of Parliament that was passed in January, the 8 education acts, one was on curriculum. My view is that we must infuse values into that curriculum. But we must infuse values without prejudice or agendas. It's difficult, we say that we are a Christian country and yet our constitution is secular. We're secular, we don't know how to be secular. We don't know how to be secular as a nation and yet in private as a person. Espouse whatever spirituality that you want to espouse. When I was in high school, we had a subject that was compulsory for all Form 4s to Form 6s. In one of those schools you're talking about, the national school, which was called General, GRE, not Christian, General Religious Education. In that subject, I went to do it for 4 years, taught me about Christianity, about Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism. I learned about Confucius from this Muslim who used to teach us that. So by the time I left A levels, my view, animism, was taught. But the object of that particular course was to draw out the common values in all these different varying religions, or even people who do not have a religion. Values have to be infused. I mean, there are countries where the issue of jumping the queue, it sounds simple, just jumping the queue. If a 3-year-old American kid goes ahead of the line, it's all other people. Her own parent will be the one screaming, saying, "You don't do that. You never jump the line." Now, when you're 3 and you hear that, by the time you're 25, it's in you. It's imbued in you. So the issue of meritocracy. Do we believe in meritocracy as a nation? Us sitting in this room, do we really believe in it? We talk about it. But are we willing to subject ourselves to it? You remember the famous the incident a few years ago when there was a website, I think the parliamentary website, when all the qualifications of MPs were put in and 24 hours have been brought down. But you guys will argue, you're fighting for meritocracy for us. When we're subjected to it. So we've got all these notions as Kenyans, meritocracy, fairness, you name it. But when we're subjected to it, we balk. That's a values issue. Because values means you have to step out there and live by them. So Boniface wants to commend you. I do think sometimes that it becomes difficult to support your causes when you've got a plan and stuff like that. But at least you are willing to pay the price. Until we have enough people willing to pay the price. And we don't all have to pay the price to the same degree. Right? We're not all, even the 300 Spartans. The battle of the pyramid, okay? All 300 were heroes. But we're not all the same. The guy who led them was still made of stuff. But they were all heroes. So we don't all have to be Boniface. We don't have to be the general who's at the head, but all of us at our own level, wherever we are, must be willing to pay some price. I'll give an example. We all say Vision 2030's goal is to become an upper middle income country. And I think I have to clarify that, by the way. Because the middle income nation is not a very difficult thing for us to be in. It's $1,000 per capita. We're not very far from that. That's why Ghana, for instance, is a middle income country. We're not trying to be Ghana. What my view is that by 2030, most Kenyans, if not all, should be middle class citizens by global standards. Should be able to, and also middle class life. You're able to, you have a decent job, can pay for your kids have access to a good school and you can afford it. Healthcare is available to you, and you're able to, on a Saturday morning, be able to come and have a conversation like this. You're comfortable enough to do that. Every Kenyan. Now, for us to achieve that, there are certain things about our lives that must change. Because what does it mean when Kenyans are all middle class? It means whoever is taking care of you, if you have a driver, a cook, a gardener, they are all middle class. Are you ready for that? I've got friends in the US who actually say now that I have a baby, I'm going back to Kenya. Because now in Kenya, the system, it's easy. I can have a cook, I can have this, I can afford many things. Because in the US, you can't. In Europe, for instance, which is one of the most equal societies, people don't have this lifestyle. If your cook is going to drive to your house to cook for you and drive away, you've got to pay him a decent wage. Are you willing to change to do that? By the way, when you talk about 2030, do you really want 2030? Because you guys, I don't think people think about this. There will be a price we have to pay, but we all pay a small price for a better life for all of us. And we must be ready for that. We must change now to say, if I want someone to cook for me, and I want someone to do laundry for me, and I want someone to be my kids to be looked after, the systems are such that, they have to also be middle class, so they drive, and then when they drive away from your house, they go and take their kids to the movies. Yes. That's what middle class is. You're not going to have a transformed economy. These countries you talk about, like Singapore and Europe, everybody has that benefit. Everybody wants to have a decent life. So in those places, your cook comes, your cook comes on Monday evening and cooks for you for the whole week. Or you cook for yourself, if you have to cook every day. The laundry person comes in once or twice a week for a few hours. Or you launder for yourself. So their sacrifices at different levels. But if you want to be a meritocracy, we claim that's what we're targeting. We want a fair society. We want a upper middle income country. That's what Vision 2030 is all about. We all have to internalize that and then do what it takes. Not support it, but when you personally face the price you have to pay, you balk. And that's the issue we have. The debate in Parliament about wages. I think members of Parliament are some of the most highly educated people we have in this country. I keep saying that, by the way. Whenever I present, I always say our members of Parliament are the crème de la crème of society. They're the most educated, best spoken, widely traveled, most decent, by the way. You can't have all that, can you? But when it comes to you as a person, it's not unique to members of Parliament, it's all of us. When I have to get a pay cut, oops. When I have to give up a certain benefit which is unfair, so that the society can be equalized, then it becomes problematic. The institutions we're building, the political bill of Vision 2030, is about building institutions of governance. We want a parliament that performs legislatively, oversight-wise, and representation-wise perfectly. We all want that. We want a judiciary that works. And we were all claiming mid-last year, actually by June last year, everybody in this country, ODM, the then PNU, the then ODMK, everybody was more or less okay with the fact that, we have a few things, some people may have thought that the judiciary was going too much, but the judicial reform was taking place, there was a consensus. There's a consensus also that electoral reforms are taking place.